Hello? You're at the adverts. So don't turn off. Don't turn off because I've got some good stuff for you. First up, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. Kent CBD is our first sponsor. Now, CBD oil, as you know, has tremendous benefits, especially within mental health and physical health. Personally, I use it to help with my anxiety and my depression, but not only that, I also use it to help with the aches and pains of life in my joints, especially my ankles and my knees. But yeah, without CBD oil, I would have still been on my antidepressant tablets, which I'm no longer on. So, every cloud. And what we're going to do here at Granite Zero is we're going to give you 10% off everything from oil, muscle rub, jellies, bath salts, the lot. Yeah? Make sure you get in there. www.kentcbd.org. Put in the promo code GRANITE0 and get yourself 10% off. You are welcome. But also, if you're like me and you love a nice cup of coffee. Now, for me, I only drink one coffee, and that's Green Beret coffee. Now, I don't only drink it because it's out of this world fucking coffee, roast to order, grinded to whatever specific grind you want. But not only that, it's veteran owned and veteran run, which, hits me right in the feels. So make sure you check it out, Green Beret Coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I drink it dark, just like my soul. Incredible stuff, incredible stuff. And what I'm going to give for you, I'm going to give you 10% off. So once you get to the checkout, once you've got all your coffee, your products, your apparel, whatever you need, get to the checkout and put in the promo code GZPodcast10 and get yourself 10% off. Courtesy of the Granite Zero podcast. You are welcome. Now, that's enough of me talking about this stuff. Back to the regular scheduled show. Check it out! Craig, thank you very much for coming on the Granite Zero podcast.
No, it's pleasure.
I've been following your story for a bit. Can't lie. I literally, mate. This sounds a bit strange. I listened to your podcast with James English in the bath the other day.
Really?
yeah. Well, you got to relax.
I know. I can think of worse places to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, mate, fascinating story. But you're actually from quite near my neck of the woods, where I'm originally from, which is I'm from Hereford originally.
Okay.
And you're just up the road, aren't you?
Yeah, Gloucestershire, Cheltenham. Yeah, not too far.
It's nice to hear the western tones.
Do you reckon I must still have it? Yeah, I don't think I have. I thought all the years in the army I might have lost it.
Do you know what? I think the same. I've got this sort of mongrel accent going on at the minute. So I live down in Kent now with my wife and kids. So I've got a little bit of a southern twang coming out.
Okay.
But everybody else, this annoys me still. Everybody else goes, but you're northern. I'm not fucking northern. I'm the fucking Midlands. I fucking dare you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So after listening to your podcast with James, it was fascinating to see how you sort of guided your way into the army. That was quite obviously horses being the main inspiration to it.
Oh, massively. Yeah, I'm still a big fan. I've just had 2 hip replacements, so I can't really ride at the moment because, just due to Afghan, my last tour. But if I really want to get back into horse riding because, horse therapy and the animals, anything to do with animals is good for mental health. Dogs, horses, anything like that. And I really want to get back into it, but a bit nervous to try and riding it again because I don't want the pain in my hips.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame you. Yeah. 2 hip fucking surgery. Do you say surgeries or replacements?
Full replacements, yeah.
Full replacements as well. What?
Yeah.
What did you have? What have you got done? Like, is it fucking metal, plastic?
Yeah, titanium. In both hips. Yeah, so
that's gonna be fun when you go through the airport.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? It doesn't go off.
Does it not?
No.
That's mad.
No.
That's mad.
Yeah, I said to my missus, it keeps beeping, but I had this magnet bracelet on,
Oh, got
and
you. Yeah,
that was beeping, and I took that off, and I didn't beep when I went through. So, strangely enough,
that's mental. But yeah, you're spot on with about the animals. Like, I actually feel quite calm when I've got a cat. I wanted a dog, but I'm outnumbered in this house, 3-1 with the women. So they all wanted cats, and I was like, oh, fucking dog's better.
yeah, yeah,
But there's something soothing, and I've noticed something crazy, and a lot of people will be like, cats aren't like that, mate. But if my missus goes out on a night out or goes and stays around her mates for a weekend or whatever, the cat seems to know that I don't really like sleeping on my own for some reason. Don't know what it is.
okay,
I don't know what it is. I just can't settle. I don't know if it's because she's away and I'm not
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not the protector, you could say. But the cat literally, she'll come and sleep on my side of the bed, or she'll like nestle in with me. Normally she leaves me the fuck alone. She's like, I ain't
yeah.
touching that grumpy bastard.
They're not silly, mate. Same with dogs as well. They're not silly animals. It's like horses. Horses will sense your depression, sense your anxiety and your
Mm,
stress, and sometimes it won't even come up to you because you feel like that. And it's just
yeah.
amazing how like therapy dogs as well.
Oh, they're brilliant, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Dogs, yeah.
fantastic. And anything to help, people with mental health. I'm a big advocate for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I was actually quite shocked on the. So last week I went to my mum's. My mum's just recently moved back to Wales, and she booked a horse riding experience for the girls. My youngest loved every second of it. She was a natural on the horse. Like we've never done anything with horses before, but the way she got on it, she was with it. She was talking with the instructor. She was playing. My eldest, I've never seen her so shit scared in my life. I was like, "What? What's the matter?" She was like, "It might fucking kick me or something." I went,
Yeah, yeah,
"It might," but I was trying to go. I wanted to go. It won't kick you, but I know she will look at me and go, "You're lying to me."
yeah,
Because she also read the sign that's saying obviously horses may kick and bite. So yeah,
yeah.
but when they did it for an hour, and they just went off on the with the instructors for a trot round. Can't remember where we went now. Pembrokeshire coast it was. They went for this trot round. They went into the woods down by the beach, all sorts, and they came back and they fucking loved it. That's all they were talking about.
Yeah, I
And
know.
then my youngest was like, "Can I get a horse?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course you can, with all the money that we have."
A set of kidney.
Yeah. Should we sell the house and just go back
Yeah,
to renting? Oh no,
it
wait,
it
that would
is
probably
it
be.
is expensive.
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
horses when I was younger.
Yeah.
Very privileged upbringing to have animals and horses. So I know how expensive
You were
a
brought
set of
up in the
shoes.
retirement home, though, weren't you? Of the
What's
West.
that? Sorry.
You were brought up in the retirement home of the West.
Oh yeah, in Cheltenham. Yeah,
Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, you are right. We're going to inquire up the road. So up the road in my village, there's a group that have got a paddock and got their own horses and whatnot. So we'll see if they do any lessons or anything like that.
mate. If it gets them away from the phone, iPads, and the
Oh yeah.
television, what I mean, support it 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Fuck me, my eldest on her phone.
yeah,
Jesus Christ. But she's now she's picked up the habit now. I don't know if she's hiding something or what. But you go anywhere near her phone and she's flapping. She's like, "Get off my phone, give me my phone." I'm like, what are you hiding?
yeah. That's dodgy. That's dodgy.
Yeah. She's like, it's only fucking 11, 12. Fucking 12. Fucking hell, got that wrong, no. 12. Yeah. But it's madness, mate. But yeah, from listening, I didn't realize how many fucking tours you actually did. You did 10 in total, didn't you?
10 tours, yeah, yeah. So I
Fuck
done
me, mate.
Bosnia, Kosovo, and Iraq and Afghan. Yeah, just my regiment because reconnaissance regiment, high
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
demand. So we just bounced it, and then I was volunteering, so I was coming off tour, having couple of months off. Then another squadron would go out, and I'd say, "Look, can I go out with you?"
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
were you single at the time when you?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely, definitely a
My
single man's game.
my Iraq and Afghan tours, I was married.
Oh,
So
got yeah, yeah.
yeah, So she was 100% storage. It's a bit selfish of me, really, because it was always army first, wife second. You know.
Yeah, and you find that a lot, don't you? Especially that's one of the reasons why I came out was I had to put the family first for a change. And
Yeah.
so cause I only did 5.5 years, but in those 5.5 years, we went 3 times, once to Iraq and then twice to Afghan. So our turnaround for 15 Squadron was quite quick in terms like 1 minute you're out there, you've come home, you've got your fucking 2 weeks off, and then it's like, right, we're getting ready to pre-deployment. And you're like, oh
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
By
Just
the
constantly bouncing it.
by the way, we're getting ready to what's that mean? Well, that means I'm gonna go to Senny Bridge for about fucking 4 weeks and then come back and then go and do Hive and Lid ranges for another fucking 3 weeks.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was starting to take its toll. So it was like, I've got to do what I've got to do. Do you know what I mean? Which was sad because that was one of the reasons why my mental health took a massive dip, especially with the depression, because in my head I had a lot of unfinished business.
What, with the army?
I was actually a mighty rough reg, but you know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you could say sorry. It's fine.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
No,
So,
but yeah, that I was always in my head going to be a career man, like
yeah.
my dad before me. I was always going to do the 22, maybe a bit longer, because they don't seem to retire in the fucking regiment. They just fucking keep going.
Yeah.
That was my goal. And funny enough, I joke now with one of my best buds, Liam Burrows. He's basically taken my career path.
Okay.
I talked him out of PVR in when we were out in Kandahar. I went,
Yeah.
it's the worst thing you'll ever do, mate. Don't fucking PVR. And then when we got back, I was like, well, I'm fucking off. But yeah, he went from strength to strength. He went to the wing and started doing he became a JTAC. And
Okay.
I was like, that's what I wanted to fucking do. He was like, yeah, I know. Like, fucking yeah, but he's now what would I have been? 16 years, I think. Maybe longer.
Wow.
18 years, maybe it would be
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So it would have been 18 years now. He's now a sergeant. He's now fucking living the dream.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, at times. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I actually had it. I was doing this course called Inner Armor. I spoke about it on here loads of times. It's like a mental health, positive psychology type course. And they said to me, they went, you get really fast talking and very excited when you talk about your time you served and the things that you wanted to do. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't think about that. They're like, did you ever want to do the reserves or anything like that? I was like, fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long you been out now?
Well, I came out 2013, so
Same with me. I was just when I got discharged. Yeah. So
yeah, a long time. But even though it was on my terms, it sort of felt like it wasn't, if that makes sense.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't until a couple of years after that I started having the plummet, and yeah, just
But you
fucking
do, mate. Like I've always said, you're running 1,000 miles an hour, and then you get out and you end up crawling because the tempo is not that civilian tempo is not the same
oh no,
tempo
definitely
in the
not.
forces, and that's when you stop and think more and you start pondering more and start thinking about the shit times more than anything else. And that's
Yeah,
when your mental health declines.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you said, when you get in that idle state, and you're like, I spoke about it quite a few times on here. For me, it was because I joined the security trade, basically being infantry. Didn't think to get a trade on my
Yeah.
resettlement. I did the CP course, which I can't lie, I haven't used. Just looks good on my CV when I go for
Yeah.
jobs. And I was sat and I got a job with my missus's old man. He's a depot manager at Waitrose, and I ended up doing the site security there. And I was sat there and I was going, what is this? I was fucking playing with guns. All the things that you would think were the shit jobs: cleaning your rifle, getting woken up early to hurry up and wait to go to the ranges,
That's
going
what
to
you
the
miss.
ranges. And then I'm like, I fucking love to go to the range right now.
Yeah. That's what you miss, isn't it? You miss
Yeah,
that.
I see
You miss,
these fuckers on Instagram that do all the shooting and all that, and go out in the fucking in the hills all the time. I'm like, I'm fucking jealous here. This is fucking awesome.
the army, the forces have changed so much. I met an officer. He's in the rifles, and he hasn't fired a round in 5 years. None of his lads have, and he belongs to mortars as well. And none of them have fired mortars in 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, so they're just putting the out. They're finding jobs to do with it for them.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of cutbacks and everything like that, and this Ukrainian war's taking everything up.
that's fucking madness as well.
Yeah. Us not getting involved, but we're training them up, and that's taking everything. That's taking everything. Vehicles we're giving them, guns that we're giving them,
Yeah,
and everything.
it does make me laugh. It's like we're giving them what? Right, we're giving them military aid. How much money are we giving? Okay, right, but yet we can't give our troops the stuff that we need.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can't give our troops the training that we need, and make sure that they're at the fucking peak level, just in case something fucking happens.
yeah.
Something will happen eventually, and then everyone will get stood to. Yeah,
It's like when they made everyone redundant and they rehired
yeah.
everyone.
But that was one of the jokes that my buddy Burrows always says. He always goes, "I'm still waiting to be made redundant." It's the thing with the fucking RAF Reg. It doesn't seem to die.
Yeah.
Nobody likes us, but yet we're still fucking there.
Still pop up.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the questions that, to be fair, I put a post out asking if anyone wanted to send us any questions. I only had one back, which fucking does my head in. Do you know when you get loads of people that view your fucking story and you're like, I've asked a question here. Does any no? Okay.
Yeah, I get that, mate.
But one was, what does he think of the RAF Reg? I was like, I don't. Why am I going to ask that? But I'm going to ask it. What do you think of the RAF Reg?
Do you know, we do the same job. Do you know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
still involved in the RAF, protecting the RAF, protecting the airfields and whatever you do. But one thing I did begrudge the RAF Reg is that I remember being in Iraq and we kept getting mortared all the time in the airport, and me and my mate were tasked to track the ID layers down and take them out.
Yeah.
And it took us 4 days to track them down. And we hailed up in this sort of like Overwatch looking down, and they tipped up. We predicted it. They tipped up, and I was just about to take the fucking shot. Raf Reg came in and just fucking swamped them all and took all the glory. And I was like, yeah.
You fucking dicks.
Oh, honestly, I was just about to squeeze the trigger, and I thought, yeah, typical. You're welcome
That's
to it.
like that's like the scene in Jarhead a little bit as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where they're ready to pull the trigger
Yeah, oh, yeah, and
and
he
they
came
come in.
storming in the room.
I'm putting the airstrike in.
Yeah.
Oh, just let me take the fucking shot.
Only because they were on the same comms as us.
Yeah.
Because obviously they had to be aware of where we were. And as soon as I thought, yeah, I'm going to take the shot, and they came, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
Yeah. See that, everybody listening? We do go out the wire. Nah, I was actually attached to our sniper section in when I went to Iraq in when did I go? 09. So we were in the closing down phase, so there wasn't much
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, I remember going out with them, and I thought I literally was like, I was carrying ECM basically, but I was like, I'm so fucking cool right now. Where are you going out with? I'm going out with fucking snipers. I am. I remember a pal of mine fucking shit his pants when a camel spider ran across his legs. Almost gave our position away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck
Fucking
up,
camel spiders, they do my nutting. Jesus.
I bet. Here's a question for you. What was harder? Because obviously I've noticed that you had your wings and the maroon lid.
Yeah.
What was harder, P Company or your sniper course?
Snipers.
All day.
Yeah. You think snipers is totally different. P Company, you're just running around like an idiot with weight on your back, carrying logs and stretchers,
Yeah.
And then snipers, you got the range phase, become a sharpshooter, then you got the sniper phase. and it's just constant sleep deprivation, hunger, thirst, everything. Held up in a position for a long time. So yeah, the sniper, out of doubt, sniper phase, the
That's the
sniping.
that's the thing, isn't it? That a lot of people, a lot of civilians, I would say, don't understand about sniping. They think it's pulling the trigger,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's a tiny, tiny proportion of
oh yeah,
what
but
you
the
guys do.
first the first objective of a sniper, and this is written down in the PAMs, is to gather lifetime information of the battlefield. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's your job, is to go up there, sneaky beaky, and then gather as much information as possible, you know. And then once you've got that information, and then you bring it back, they decide what to do with it, and then you redeploy and take the target out. That's your
yeah, yeah,
job, you know.
yeah. Exactly. A lot, as I said, everyone goes, "Wow, snipers! They're just really good shot." So, well, yeah, that's part of it. But
Yeah, there's more into it.
like, we would do during inverted commas peacetime. We would go off on different carders and things, and there'd be lots of little different sections that were run by different parts of our squadron. So you'd have, for example, for me, the comms section. People would come in and go, "Oh, can we learn about the comms for the day?" It's like, well, I'm sure you don't really want to be here, but here's a
Yeah.
fucking radio. But yeah, we would go out and do certain bits with the snipers, and even just down to getting into a position and then watching, and obviously the sketching that you guys do,
Yeah,
and obviously the range finding, and just picturing the battlefield so that when you get back and you can liaise it to everyone else. I remember sitting there trying to draw, and I was like, I could never be a sniper with this fucking drawing. This is fucking awful. But yeah,
people
hard
forget.
fucking
You got
work.
to have the FFP's final fire position that you go into, but you need another fallback position in case
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get bumped, and then another fallback position in case you're bumped again. So you've got to recce them as well,
Mm.
and make sure they're feasible as and still on target if you get bumped on the first one. So yeah, and people just think you're an assassin. You just go out there and because they spend their time on Xbox, don't they,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
PlayStation, and they
I got
think,
my sniper rifle.
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
all
and
right.
this is what I do, you know.
Yeah, you see a lot of the I have it on my algorithm now on my TikTok because I'm cool and I've got TikTok. But I get inundated. I think because I watched one video once. Now I get fucking hundreds of them. But it's the airsofters, and you get the fucking guys that think they're proper snipers because
Yeah,
they got their ghillie suit and they can
yeah.
pick someone off.
There's that one guy in there. He's quite famous,
Yes,
British guy.
I know the guy you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has different cameras on his fucking
yeah, and
person.
he slow mos it, doesn't he?
Yeah. To be fair, I'll give it to him. It's a lot of skill that he's got there. But
Oh yeah, he's gillied up to the max as
yeah,
well.
you're not a sniper
Yeah,
though. You're not real.
you're an airsoft.
Yeah. I sent it to my missus's cousin because he's just taken it up. And I went, "You're not going to turn into these fucking uber serious guys, are you? That have all the military gear and think that they've got a proper M4 and all this." And he went, "No, no, mate." He went, "I've got basically a pistol and like a musket." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I just think it's funny just run around just trying to shoot people." I was like, "Fair enough."
Yeah,
That's how it should be. There's
got
some
a
serious people that do it.
oh yeah. And if you get shot and you're not meant to be shot, they get right anti, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them on YouTube and they all kick off because somebody
Yeah.
else has been shot. So,
Yeah, it's fucking mad. That's fucking mad. Where was your best place that you, well, I say best place. I'll rephrase that. What was your favorite sort of mission that you did in terms of location and whatnot with the
probably
sniping?
in Basra City.
Basra.
Yeah, we
Was
went
that on
to
the
play.
was that over the arches?
No, went to a place called the Peajock, next to Basra Palace. It takes,
Oh, got yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, from the Peajock to the palace, it takes about 10 minutes to drive there.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it takes 10 minutes to walk there if you walked, but it takes 2 hours in a vehicle because you get and yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the road is called the Champagne Flute because
Yeah, yeah, I got
it's
you.
hollow in the middle, and you just get fucking smashed when you go there. and the P Jock was just had about, I don't know, 18 people, if that, and that's not fighting troops either. That's a chef, all the clerks, everything. And the
Yeah,
job was for the P Jockey to protect the prison, to stop the insurgents, getting
yeah,
the hierarchy, the insurgents out of the prison. So it just kicked off all the time. But that was urban warfare, that was to the max. And to be a sniper, you've got to be universal. So you've got to
yeah, of
have
course.
urban warfare, you've got to have rural warfare, you've got to flip all the time. And then next couple of weeks, we were there for a couple of weeks, and next time we're in the desert fighting, So
Yeah.
yeah, you got.
Well, that's what a lot of again, a lot of people didn't realise with the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan is it wasn't always in a desert.
No.
There was a touch of like fibula and whatnot, especially in the different compounds. Not that I can admit, not that I went in kicking doors or anything, but going through their little shanty villages and whatnot, it's not just
Well, Danny Cutwell down.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just fucking open desert like it looks like in some of the movies that they watch.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. It's totally different, and to it makes you a better soldier as well. Keep flipping to
Yeah,
different stuff, keeps you on your toes.
yeah. Well, it was a huge shock for us when we finished our basic training and we're getting ready to go on to unit, because we went through, it was like proper Cold War style tactics still, with the snake of death and fucking coup de grace in the target and whatnot. Then we got to the squadron, it was like, well, you can put all that in your back pocket because this is how we fight when we go out to Afghan and Iraq at the time. And it was like, oh right, that's not what we learned. Yes, it's a
Because
lot more.
you just learn green warfare,
Yeah,
shooting at Russian vehicles,
yeah, exactly.
and
On
next
your
thing
Todd as well, like the
yeah,
one on your
exactly,
Todd,
yeah,
on
yeah.
Shanks's pony, as they say. It's like, no, we're going to be mounted in a vehicle most of the time. It's like, oh, okay then, we'll do that then. And then you get in, like I said, then you get into the real shock when you then get stuck with the sniper section. You're like, well, you're going to get dropped off here, and then you're going to tab miles. You're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
and then being Raf Reg, you're like, well, is it any further than 5 miles? Because that's the cutoff.
And how much weight we got? How long we going to be out?
Yeah, all the kit and all the bomb apparently.
That's it.
Well, one thing definitely that people are going to say, you have to ask this, right? And someone did mention it in my DMs. That sounds naughty, doesn't it? We can't believe, me and this other guy, that they actually put you in the Guinness World Records.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
For slotting someone.
I know. Do you know what? They sent me a certificate.
I saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're like, usually the Guinness World Records is for like how many balls are juggled and
Yeah.
how many pies can you fit in your mouth. But which I probably could get the world record for that in a minute. But yeah, longest kill.
Yeah. It's not. They don't do it anymore. I don't know why.
I bet they got a few complaints on that.
Yeah. No. Probably. So celebrating death.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got that book as well. I've got that Guinness World
Don't
Record
blame
book. And why it still stood. I went to do the following year, and it wasn't in there. The following year wasn't in there, and I thought, I just took it out. So
took it out.
There's always people complain.
Unbeatable.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a fucking distance, mine.
Yeah. If I didn't do it, people would have died. I didn't do it to break the world record. I just done it to get the lads out of shit.
You obviously you wouldn't have had that in your head.
No, not at all.
That's going to be a world record.
No, not at all.
Talking to your second, that's going to be a world record, by the way.
Yeah.
Pew pew. So what? Can you talk us through it?
Well, basically there was an op going on, and it was a mixture of Afghan army and British troops, and because they were training them to patrol and be better soldiers, and that's why they called them the omelette, because they were mixed in with the Afghan troop. and their primary job on this mission was go into this village and flush the Taliban out. But the Afghan army felt more comfortable with Overwatch. So they called my troop up and they said, look, can you give us Overwatch as we go into this village? Yeah, no worries. So I could see the patrol going in, and also I can see all the Taliban queuing up for an attack in the village. And I was radioing to the patrol saying, look, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And I had an interpreter with me with the ICOM chatter. They were talking, and I was going, what's he saying? He's going, right, he's orchestrating it. And I was going, where the fuck's this fucker? And I looked up and I could see a glint in the far distance. And it was a guy with a radio. So it took me 9 shots to get there. I was bracketing. So I fired my first shot, it went low, second, high, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and I hit the compound wall. And then the icon went really quiet. And then I heard a voice on the icon, and I said, that's, what's he saying now? And he said, I can't direct you anymore. I'm getting shot at from somewhere. And I thought, right, at least I've got his head down, and that's what I wanted. So anyway, the patrol went in, and obviously the Taliban went to get in the kill zone, in the kill box. And they did. And they just rinsed this patrol, and the patrol took heavy casualties, from the Afghan army, RPGs firing everywhere, and it was horrendous. And a contact on the ground probably lasts for a couple of minutes, but you feel like it lasts for hours. This one lasted from 11:30 till 2:30. It was constant fighting. It was full on, and lads were running low on ammo and stuff like that. So I made the command decision to take my vehicles down into the kill zone and make a barrier between the patrol and the Taliban, so they can get their wounded out and their dead out. And my lads had 50 cals. They had the 40mm grenade launcher and Jimpies and all that, so they can put enough firepower down to keep the Taliban heads down while this patrol sorts himself out. So they did that. And then my spot, I've noticed a guy on the right-hand side. He's about 600 yards away. And I thought, fuck, he's a marker. I'm going to get flanked in a minute. Because as a sniper, you only fire 2 or 3 shots, 1 or 3 shots, so I say, and then you get out of fucking dodge because you don't want to,
gives away your position and all sorts.
Give your position away. So I thought, fuck. So I slotted him 600 yards away, and he went down. But he wasn't a marker. He knocked the water off a pump, and he flooded the irrigation ditches. So all my vehicles were now stuck in this wheel spin and everything. And then all I heard was like gunfire, and I thought, where the fuck's that coming from? So I checked all my fire positions while I engaged targets, and the only place I didn't check is where this dicker was. So I looked up, and I saw 2 guys there with a PKM machine gun, belt fed, firing down onto my lads.
Just smashing it,
Yeah. So I fired my first shot because I knew I was aiming because I hit there in the morning. So I fired my first shot, I missed, fired my second shot, and as the guy stood up, I hit him in the chest. He went down, and then I thought, it's a 6-second time of flight for my bullet. So I fired my third shot, and as I fired my third shot, I moved my rifle across, counted to 3, and then fired my fourth shot. So now I've got 2 bullets in the air at the same time, but 3 seconds apart. Third one missed, fourth one hit him. And and then an Apache, because we was in a contact for a long time, an Apache came really low next to me, and I indicated where we were getting engaged from, and he GPS'd it. And he GPS'd it at 2,475 meters. And then we went over to where the bodies were, and the machine gun had gone, and the Taliban were just lying there dead. And it turned out they were quite high-ranking Taliban leaders.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. So that's how it came about.
That's fucking. It's awesome, but also fucking frightening when you think about it.
Oh yeah, don't forget I'm getting shot at as well.
Yeah.
They know who I am, and so I'm trying to keep my composure, keep my head over the parapet, trying to,
Yeah.
and sort things out. And so, as a sniper, you need to keep your composure, keep your heart rate
Yeah,
down.
of course.
And it's quite hard when you see your mates in the shit as well.
Your adrenaline must be going through the fucking roof.
Oh yeah, massively, without a doubt.
How did you come down from that?
You don't. It's a. What I suppose you do. We went after the mission. We went back and patched our wounds up, but we were standing in an abandoned compound because it was too far to go back to Musakala,
Yeah,
and because we're bouncing ops, it was best we stayed off the grid, in an abandoned compound, and I'll take myself away and just depressurize myself, just have my thoughts to myself.
yeah,
And then, because I was in charge, and I didn't want to show my lads that I was breaking or I have got stress problems or anything
yeah.
like that. I didn't want that. So depressurize myself and then go back and go to the ops room, crack on with the next day's activities.
Yeah, it's crazy how strong you can be in those moments.
Oh, without a doubt. You think people rely on you,
Yeah,
and they always say that, don't they? Hit the guy in charge, and everyone would be running around like rats.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I well, nothing to that extent. And when I was in the ops room in Bastion during my final tour, I had to deal with every major incident, and a lot of people have said to me previously, like, you've got nothing to be like stressed about or depressed about or have any sort of PTSD afterwards because you were in the comms room. And I was like, you have no idea how stressful that place can be,
Yeah.
especially when there's troops in contact or an ID or anything like that. And as I said, I dealt with every major incident that the squadron had during my final tour, and it was the most stress. I was asking, can I go out on the ground? Because it's starting to affect me a little bit. They
Yeah.
never did. They never did. But yeah, every major incident, and as soon as you hear contact wait out or contact ID wait out or rocket, the fucking command center takes off because all the bigwigs come in that have got limited experience on the ground and they want to get involved.
Oh yeah, massively.
And I told a couple of officers to fuck off a few times, and then the watchkeeper was like, "Well done, Tommo. Just stick with what you're doing. You're doing fine." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Brilliant,"
yeah.
because I'm trying to fucking relay messages. I'm trying to get, and then you've got fucking matey boy with a couple of stars come over and go, "You're right. They should be doing this. Couldn't you just fuck off out my fucking space?"
Yeah.
But the worst day I had, well, there was two, but the worst one I had was when a buddy of mine, Robbo, got hit by an ID. Later on, he actually had his legs amputated, but he's done wonders for him. He's an Olympic gold medalist now, so
There you
well
go.
done, Robbo.
Yeah.
But I remember dealing with that and liaising with the air desk, getting the MERT out and etc. etc. And when it all sort of stopped, and it was like, hello, funnily enough, hello, Granite Zero. This is Granite 10 Alpha. Radio check. It's like, I've literally just dealt with a fucking huge incident. Now I'm getting a fucking radio check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Over. Blah blah blah. And I remember I went outside just to, as you said, just to gather my thoughts and just fucking de-stress. And it wasn't until a bit later on when we were back at the compound and a few of the other lads came back in, and we found out how he was and that he was getting flown home and whatnot. It was like, fucking hell, that's one of my mates. He was my section commander, or one of the section commanders that I had in Iraq. He was one of the first blokes I met when I got to squadron, and now he's proper fucked. And it's like that's fucking that's mental to think about. And
But it's like when I got hit. Do you know what I mean? I got shot in the helmet, and then my wagon in a massive contact, and I got shot in the body armor, shot in my man bag strap, shot in my helmet, My wagon got hit 136 times, battle damage.
Whoa.
And then 3 weeks after that, I got blown up by an IED. And I was quite of a figurehead in the regiment. And that's, as in fitness, as in I took no shit, leadership ability and everything. And people were taken back going, fuck me, Craig's been wounded, and it shook me as well, thinking I'm not indestructible, from the things that I've done and the contacts that I go into and putting my life first in front of everyone else's. I'm not indestructible. And it does take you back a bit, like your friend, he was your peer, you knew him from when you joined the regiment and all that. So yeah, it does take you back. It takes you time to sort of think to yourself, fuck, I'm not destructible. I'm human like everyone else.
That must have been quite difficult for yourself. Like, as you said, you've been through countless contacts, you've done countless tours, come back fine, and then all of a sudden you get injured in one patrol, and then another one you get blown up. You must be like, my fucking luck's running out here.
Yeah, exactly. I never told my wife when I got shot in the helmet and body armor and everything. I never told her. It was rumor control.
Yeah.
The pads wives and all that.
Yeah.
And then she found out, and I rang her up, and she was going, "What's this?" And I think either she said when I rang her up or when I came off tour, that. And I said, I just didn't want you to worry. I just didn't want you to worry. I'm fine.
And you also don't need that distraction.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And I used to say to my missus, especially my first 2 tours when I was actually out on the ground, was I don't need any distractions while I'm out here. I went, because a distracted soldier is a dead soldier. And I don't want to be confirming on an IED and then thinking, fucking hell, this is going on at home.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Mrs. going on the Raz tonight. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
She's out with who? Fucking hell. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I had an incident with a missus before. Would have been when we were out in Kandahar, literally just on the blower to her, and the rocket alarm siren goes off, and we were a QRF. Rocket alarm sirens are going off, and I'm on the phone. She's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it." Next thing I know, the QRF corporal comes banging on the door. "Tommo, we're off." And literally before I could even hang up, we heard the first explosion, which was not far from where I was on the phone. And then the phones obviously just went dead. While that was happening, we dealt with the rocket attack the best we could. But something happened out in Helmand, so Op Minimize was called.
Yeah.
It was all cut off anyway. So I didn't speak to her for like a week and a half, maybe even a bit longer. When I did phone her, she was like, "Fuck, I thought the worst had happened." I was like, "No, I'm fine." She's like, "Why have you got to laugh everything off?" It's like,
yeah,
I kind of got to, really. I'm going out each day thinking that I might get blown up or not come home.
Mate, many a time I've had that nervous laugh,
Yeah. That was fucking close, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Definitely. Fucking hell. Do you still get like the flashbacks of getting blown up or anything like that?
Yeah, massively. I had one today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, when I was at work. So I work in a factory, and one of the machines was just banging, constantly banging.
Yeah.
And it just fucking, I went outside and just started crying. Just started crying. And my wife's at work, and I text her saying, well, we call it having a wobble.
Yeah, that's what I call it when I have a wobble.
Yeah, and I text her saying I'm having a wobble, but I tend not to do it, so I don't want her to worry.
Yeah.
But
I'm the same.
Like I said, I recocked myself and went back in. I put my earbuds in with music, then I put my ear defence on, so I can't hear fuck all, because it just affects me in a big way. Yeah, I think about it all the time. I have bad night terrors. More people that I've killed more than anything else, facial images and stuff like that. But yeah, I think about getting blown up, but I think being shot in the helmet was more than getting blown up, believe it or not, because I had the Mark 6 Alpha helmet on, and for that tour we got given the Mark 7 Alpha helmet. And because they didn't have my size in the store, I went out with the Mark 6 Alpha, and then the 7 is higher on the ear.
Yeah.
And
they look better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're more Gucci, aren't they? You know what I mean? But my helmet's set low on my ear. But if I had the new one on, I wouldn't be here talking to you now. Not at all.
Mad.
So it's all fate, isn't it? It's all fate.
Yeah. It's all fate. But that must be terrifying, knowing, because I suffer from the sleep apnea, sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Usually when I get high levels of stress, or if I'm starting to have a wobble, my sleep goes to shit, and then I get nervous about going to sleep, which makes it worse. It must be horrifying for you, thinking I might go to sleep here, and then God knows what images are going to pop into my fucking head.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm heavily medicated. Do you know what I mean?
I don't blame you.
I always say it to people: if you're struggling, medication, and it's not the fucking answer. It's not the answer, but anything to put you on that even keel and that straightness of life, and to cope with. And I always say, don't look at the week as a sigh and a burden. Look at the day, and say to yourself, I'm going to get through this day, and take day by day by day. And when I wake up every morning, I go to the gym at 3:30 in the morning, and I wake up and I say to myself, I'm committed. I'm committed to today. No matter what it brings to me, I am committed for today. And then I go to bed, and then I wake up the next day and I said, I'm committed for this day, So even though I've got a holiday planned in a week's time, I can't look forward to that because I'm just taking day as it comes. And that's the best way of doing it.
I like that. I'm slightly different to yourself, because I don't like comparing fucking mental health stuff, because obviously everybody's different, and this is a huge difference for me. Obviously, you need to be heavily medicated to help you get a good night's sleep, and help you through whatever. For me, I was on the antidepressants, and it took away a lot from me in terms of my personality. I was just numb. I was either numb or sad.
That's what I say. Then sad's a perfect thing, because that's what I say to my therapist. I just feel sad all the time.
Yeah.
I just feel sad all the time. I'm numb. With being libido, sex, sleeping, everything. It just numb. But my wife would rather have me on this planet than not being here.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
I totally get that.
By coming off it.
For me, I had to get off. I had to get off the little white pills. I didn't want to. And as I've said, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Tablets work. For me, I wanted to feel a bit more.
Yeah.
However, I was a fucking idiot. I've mentioned it on here. I don't know how many times. I was a fucking idiot. I went cold turkey off them, which was the worst thing I ever did. Because it was basically a flood of everything. So I was either super fucking happy and with it, or I was really fucking depressed, and there was no fucking balance. The balance had gone completely until I started doing the positive psychology and things like that. And I'm not saying that will work for everyone. It happened to work for me. With mental health, as I'm sure you're aware, you have to find what suits you.
Exactly.
So this worked for me. Whatever Craig's doing is working for Craig, which is fucking spot on, because he's still here talking to us, and I'm still here talking to everyone as well.
And it took time, It took a mixture of different pills.
Oh, definitely.
To think, that's not working. Try this. That's not working. Try. And I'm lucky because there's not enough help out there for veterans, and massively. And to go to these therapists that they lay on for you, and they only give you 6 days of 6 treatments.
Cheers for that.
And, thanks for that. What am I going to do after that? I'll reapply in 6 months.
Yeah,
Fuck me, I could be hanging from a tree by then.
exactly.
So I'm lucky. I've got a therapist that I pay out of my own pocket, and I've been seeing him for 4 years, and he's a fucking godsend.
I'm happy. That's fucking awesome. I went through a large charity to try and get some help.
Help the heroes?
No. It's actually one that I will always support anyway. Royal British Legion.
Yeah.
I'll always support them because of the fantastic work that they do. However, for me, they sort of let me down a little bit. So when I first had my first proper blip, which has been spoke about fucking God knows how many times, I ended up on the floor in the kitchen, fucking in floods of tears. My eldest came in, had to come in. My missus had gone to work. We had a massive argument. I literally was prepared to throw everything away. It was gone. My eldest came in, put her forehead against mine, and said, "Daddy, we still love you." And I was like, "Fucking hell, I need to sort myself out." So that was literally one of the reasons why I started the podcast. But I went through the Royal British Legion, phoned them up. They said, "Yeah, you sound like you're struggling a bit." I was like, "Yeah, just a fucking bit. Any chance for a bit of help?" "Yeah, we'll send you out a caseworker." It's now 2023, and I'm still waiting for this caseworker.
Yeah.
Which is
sometimes
why
you feel a bit of a burden.
Yeah.
And you feel, why am I burdening you with my fucking problems and you don't give a shit?
Yeah.
And that's why I've given up on all these charities. And I think the Army Veterans Lottery is the best charity that I know, and really reach out to veterans and help them, and help other small charities achieve their goals.
One of the ones that I support, they're not a registered charity yet. They're a can't remember what it's fucking called now. But it's Rock to Recovery. They're brilliant. I think they're part of the. I think they're part of the Veterans Lottery. I think they're all sort of, but yeah, they're fucking brilliant. But yeah, in the end, I was like, right, I'm gonna have to fucking do it myself. And like yourself, I went down the avenue of therapy. I saw a therapist, but at the time it was something like 80, 90 quid per session, and I was like, I can't afford this all the time. I've got fucking 2 daughters, and I wasn't as high up as I am now in my job, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to find another avenue to air my thoughts, feelings, and get stuff off my chest. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking do the worst, which I almost did. When I came off my tablets, I was like, nobody fucking wants this piece of shit. I was fucking that close, and if I'm honest, it was probably a bit of a cry for help. I started writing the letters, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then, if I'm honest, I'm probably lucky that I've got such a loving, supporting family, because I could see what I was missing, and I wasn't fully at that point. I could still see some hope.
Basically. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of veterans don't see that.
No, and they end up doing what they do, and it's very sad to see that, and it upsets me that the government don't see this, and they give money to these massive charities that so-called help veterans, and they probably do, but out of 100%, they probably help 40%, and the rest are just 60% just discarded away, not helped. Because when you've got complex PTSD, they don't want to know. When you've got normal PTSD and they think they can manage it, but when you've got multiple issues, it doesn't work. So it's sad to see. And the government each year will give money to these big, huge charities, and they wipe their hands and goes, "Our job's done now.
We're done. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
we've supported these charities that help veterans.
And
Fuck off."
the fucking worst thing about it is, and we could probably go off on a huge tangent here, but they're the cunts that fucking send us there.
Yeah,
And as soon as
yeah,
you're gone, oh, cheers for that.
yeah,
And I found that a little bit when I left in terms of the resettlement. It may be different now. It may be different in different units. But when I was going through the resettlement, it felt like they just wanted me out the fucking door. You've put your papers in. You've opted to leave. We don't fucking want you.
yeah.
And that's what it felt like for me. I don't know if that's just my personal experience.
Yeah, they either stick you in the mess or stick you in the guardroom.
Yeah. And it was literally, what courses can I get? And it's like, oh well, you've got this much money that we can put forward for you. We suggest you do this. And it was like, okay. And it was literally close protection course.
Yeah,
I was like, cool. Because they go, so what were you, Raf Reg? All right, cool, infantry, do this. I would have loved a fucking trade. But me being me, to be fair, I'm not the fucking smartest tool in the shed. As my old man told me before I even joined up, make sure you get a trade, don't join the infantry.
yeah.
I wanted to be a PTI to start with.
Okay.
And I fucked the aptitude test up twice, standard. But they gave me a list of all these jobs that I could do. One of them being like MT driver, fucking mechanic, blah blah blah. He went, get a trade, you'll be set. Did I listen? Did I fuck? I wanted to play.
That's what I tell people now when they join.
Oh
I
yeah,
said, join the engineers, join the REME, do something that's going to benefit you. Don't work for the army. Let the army work for you.
yeah,
You
spot
know.
on.
So when you leave,
You may look cool with your Gucci kit,
yeah,
and your Ali sniper rifle,
yeah,
but
but they're not gonna
leave,
look after you.
what?
You know what I mean? Sainsbury's don't give a fuck about you.
No,
What were
no.
you, sniper? Yeah, stack that shelves of baked beans.
Oh,
There,
I
mate.
felt like that genuinely. This is on one of my fucking down days as well. I remember it. It's when I got the job I'm at now. Apart from before I got promoted to where I am, my manager basically told me, he went, go. We don't even work for Asda, by the way, but can you go and get the trolleys from Asda and stack them up and take them back? And I was like, fuck, are you joking? And I literally collected it was about 10 of these fucking trolleys, and I was pushing them, and I had this just thought in my head. I was like, I served this country in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan, and now I'm pushing fucking trolleys. This is degrading. And I
Yeah,
literally pushed him in, and I went up to his office and went, don't ever ask me to do that again. And he was like, why not? I went, because one, it's not my fucking job. That's fucking Asda's trolleys. I went, and two, I went, have a bit of fucking respect.
yeah,
I went a bit Billy Big Time on him. I went,
yeah,
just
yeah,
have
yeah.
a bit of fucking respect.
That's right, though, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Send some other cunt to do it.
Yeah, send the trolley wallies to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So, as you said, you get up at like 3 in. Is that every morning?
Half three every morning.
You fucking Jocko Willink.
Yeah, I get
Is
up.
that genuinely because you well, not that you want to get up at 3:30? Is it just your body telling you to get up, or is it
Yeah, I get up.
the
I
shit
just
sleep?
no, not really. Sometimes I sleep through, but my alarm's set for 3:30. I get up. I'm in the gym for 4:45, and I train till about 5, 5:30. I'm in work for 6, so it works for me. Do 9 hours, come home, chill out.
That's not bad actually. When you think about it.
And these people that say there's not enough time in the day,
Yeah,
there is.
but
You just got to make it.
yeah, my shift's annoying because I started 6, same as you. Mine's a fucking horrible 12-hour shift.
Oh, right.
So I do the 12 hours, get home at 6. I have actually genuinely been training recently, quite a bit, and I've been starting to train in the mornings now because I'm not just the bog standard officer. I'm one of the managers now, so I come in at 6, and I'm like, well, I ain't going out and doing the unlocks like the other fuckers. I'm gonna put my fizz kit on and go for a fucking jog. So I go for a jog around the site, and then sometimes I'll go to the gym on the way home as well. And it all depends on really as well with the missus. If she's working late or anything like that, it sort of coincides. I can go to the gym for an extra hour, but if not, it's like I haven't seen you all fucking day.
Yeah, that's why I go in the morning really, because if I went after work, I
might take a bit of your advice and set my alarm maybe an hour later, because the gym's literally on the way anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lick out to start off with, but when your body gets used to it, you think, I don't really fucking need it.
Not a bad idea, that. Not a bad idea, that. And I've noticed, obviously, from your Instagram as well, doing is it survival stuff you're doing as well?
Yeah, like bushcraft, I run a bushcraft school.
I get all you bushcrafters on my fucking show.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. You know, I love being in the woods. I love teaching.
I was going to say, you're teaching it as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, teach what you know.
Oh, exactly. So I'm there from Friday till Sunday, nearly every weekend.
Nice.
So, and I'll just get lost in it.
It must take you back to your happy place as well.
No, massively. Yeah, Tanya says to me when I come home, I'm a different. Apart from stinking, I'm a different bloke. You know.
Yeah,
she can see it in me.
Yeah, like resort to default, and you're back to you for until
exactly.
the demons kick in.
You know, and to teach veterans and people with mental health issues, and to give back to them and have that respite, and for them to have a respite and to get away and no stress and all that is fantastic. And my school's got bigger and bigger, and I'm in the process at the moment. We've just applied to be a charity.
Awesome.
So we did this 40 odd days ago. So this week or next week, we should hear if we've been accepted to be a charity, and then we start getting funds, and then hopefully give up my full-time job and just concentrate on this, you know.
Oh, fingers crossed for you, definitely on that.
Yeah.
Because it's the smaller charities that get forgotten about as well.
Massively.
You've got these big fuckers,
and I don't want to take an earning from it. Because I haven't made an earning from this. I paid out my own pocket. I just want to help people with mental health issues.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
And veterans and everything. I'm not like I'm out there to make anything. Not at all. If I can, out of 10 people, if I can reach out to 2 and save their lives, fucking Billy bonus, you know?
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the reasons why I did the podcast. Was obviously to help me with my issues. And then as it grew, not that I'm fucking massive, I'm still a minnow in a fucking tiny pond. But, you know, for me, it started as me just chatting to myself in the shed. And then it grew to it started off with my brother, just had my brother on for a chat. And it was just literally, as I said to you, it's my happy place.
Exactly. And what works for you, mate?
Like my missus said to me, she went, "You look fucking, you look like you're glowing a little bit." I went, "I've got a fucking podcast, haven't I?" And it's like, but then it was a bit of a double-edged sword, because then it was, I need to get this guest on. I need to try and get a guest on. I need to try and get a guest on, and it was constantly, and then you get a few rejections. And it's like, it's just a few, and then it was like you'd have one booked all day, and then you don't hear from them, and then literally 2 minutes before you're waiting for them, you've sent them a login and whatnot, and then it's, I can't do it tonight, mate. It's like you've had all day.
Yeah.
I could have phoned my brother and gone, "Do you fancy a podcast?" Or phoned one of my mates. And then that's a big hit for me, because it's like, I've been looking forward to that all fucking day. And now I've just had that kick in the teeth. And then I go in, and then I'm grumpy, and my missus is like, "What's happened?" It's like, where previous, like when I first started, it was literally, as I said, just me chatting in the shed. Like a few of my mates have gone, "How do you sit and talk to yourself?" And I went, "Oh, I'm not really. I'm sort of talking to the camera, which is talking to other people."
Yeah.
They went, "Yeah, but you go solid for like 45 minutes. I'm like, "Yeah, but that's because I'm a gobshite."
If you've got the gift of the gab, you crack on.
Yeah, exactly. I went,
you know,
because normally I'm quite an introverted person. Like meeting new people, I'm not great at. I'm just as my missus would say, which still annoys me. You're a grumpy northerner, not a northerner. She's like, you're not very approachable. I'm like, oh, cheers.
Yeah.
I was like, but as soon as I sit down in here, it's as though Sean takes a back seat and Tommo comes forward.
For sure. Yeah.
And then yeah, in the fucking happy place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I my trouble is you may be the same. If I get restless mind, and if I haven't got something to plan or look forward to, like yourself when you go out in the bush, that's when the bit of the trouble starts as well. So I like to keep myself busy. I'm organising another football charity match. That's the next sort of thing that I'm doing. This will be the third one. It's like cool. And my missus is like, "Why are you doing another one? You got stressed out last time." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's good stress."
Yeah. And when it all comes together, it's even fucking better.
Oh, I fucking the end of the final whistle in the last one I did, I fucking burst into tears.
Brilliant.
My eldest came running over, as she does, because she's a sensitive soul. She was like, "Dad, are you all right? You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking happy tears. It's happy tears."
Yeah.
I mean, we got battered 9-0, but this is the first time I've been battered 9-0, and I've been happy about it. Previously, I'll be fucking fuming, but because we raised a fair bit of money for two amazing causes, it was like, yeah, I feel fucking good.
Yeah,
And
good
you've
on
got to
you,
give
mate.
back. You got to give back.
You have, and that's what I do with the school. You know,
And as you said, if you can help one person,
exactly. And everyone is because the school's been going for 2 years now, and everybody that's taken part in the school, I'm still in comms with, and I've had people come down more than once. You know, they've come down 3 or 4 times who are suffering. They say, "Can I come down to the woods and just chill out?" Yeah, crack on, mate. You know, I'll meet you there, such and such, even if it's just me and him over an open fire, you know.
that
And
does
what's
sound
good
good.
about my school is that my therapist comes down on a Saturday night.
Oh, nice.
So if anyone wants to talk to him, they go for a walk in the woods and they open up to him and he gives them strategies and ideas how to cope with their depression and stuff like that. And then Ross keeps an eye on them as well. So it all works. And there's
Amazing.
nothing round here that does that.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm supposed to be doing a couple of on-site podcasts, you could say. Got one with a buddy of mine, Craig Welsh, East Anglia bushcraft. He does. He's got quite a bit of a following on YouTube, actually. To be fair, he's smashing it. He's a fellow sniper.
All right.
He was, yeah, he was struggling a bit with his mental health. A buddy of ours, unfortunately, took his own life a few years ago now. Again, he was another sniper. They had a bit of a rough tour, and he ended up doing the fucking worst thing. But yeah, Craig, since getting out into the wilderness, he's been fucking spot on, and yeah, he's a class lad. And who else have I had? I've had obviously the Lakota boys, who I shout out far too often. They're getting far too much free press from me. And yeah, the last podcast I had was Mad Dog Adventures. They do some fucking crazy bushcraft. They go out in the fucking jungle and all sorts.
Oh, brilliant! That's awesome.
Yeah, jungle freaks me out a little bit. I always wanted to do the jungle.
Yeah.
Never got to, but yeah, it freaks me out because everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah. You don't, if you lay on the ground, you won't be there in the morning. So
Yeah.
you'd be carried off somewhere.
Yeah. But did you do the jungle?
Yeah, I did Belize and Brunei.
Oh, treat yourself.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, freaks me out. Am I right? When you have to have someone, even if you're going through training. Obviously, you tend to use blanks, but you always have to have someone with live rounds.
No,
Or did I just fucking make that up?
Yeah, I think you just made that one up. Yeah.
Don't know where I heard that from. That's absolute bro science for me there. Fucking hell! I swear, someone must have been fucking pulling my leg. I should have got them to gen it, shouldn't I? They were like, just in case, like
Yeah.
a fucking
Just in case
jaguar tries
what?
to get you or something. I don't
It's
know.
a fucking monkeys get you or something.
Oh yeah, don't want to be taken away by a fucking monkey, mate. Is it peaceful in the jungle?
Yeah. No, nighttime is not. It's fucking loud as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but it's that relaxing. I find it relaxing. It's a relaxing sound, and you just drift off. But most people don't like it because it's so fucking noisy. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know when there's a predator because all the insects stop, and
Oh
you
right.
think, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
something's knocking around.
Something's cutting about here.
Yes.
You hit on it. Big fucking snake or something. There's some fucking big snakes. Snakes freak me out as well. So never off their arse. Yeah. Tell you what I like, especially because obviously being out in the bush and out in the forest, and I like it in the summer. Like I sometimes have the door to the shed open just so I can hear it. Just the sound of crickets.
Yeah.
Just that. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, I like that.
I like being in. It's like I like being in my tent. I like when it rains and I'm in my tent.
Oh, I love it when it rains.
I love.
My
I
missus
love.
thinks I'm a weirdo. She's like,
Yeah, I love being in that, and I'm nice and warm. In my gong bag, you know.
yeah, and you'll probably find this as well. Like in amongst all the chaos as well. And when you're out on tour, you're out in the fucking Bondu, fucking yourself probably been in a firefight or whatever, but you're still out on the ground. But you look up at night and it's fucking, you can see all the stars, and it's like
Yeah,
it's fucking peaceful.
yeah.
There's people trying to kill me, but it's fucking
Do you
peaceful.
know? I look up and there's one groups of stars. I don't know what they're called, and I think I've seen them in Afghan. I've seen them in
Yeah,
Iraq, and I'm stood in my garden looking at the same again. You
yeah.
know.
Well, I said something to my eldest. She would have only been tiny, but I stole the quote, and this sounds really gay, but I got it from the movie Dear John. Yeah, that's right. I watched it. It's a lovely movie, and yes, I did get choked up when his dad died, but that's another story. There's a bit where he's talking to his missus, and he's like, "If you hold your hand up and you put your thumb over the moon, your thumb will cover it." And that's the same wherever you go in the world. So if you do that, you'll know that I'm close to you because you can still. It was something soppy like that, and
Okay.
I remember telling my little one, not that she fucking remembered. She was only about 2 years old, I think. But I was like, I'm going to tell her that. She'll remember that.
Keep reminding. Keep reminding her.
Yeah, yeah, fucking hell. She's been asking questions lately, like I stupidly put on that movie, Jake Gyllenhaal one, The Covenant. Don't know
Oh,
if you've
good
seen it.
film. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. You know,
yeah.
I've had a
Guy
obviously,
Ritchie, you know, Guy
yeah,
Ritchie one.
yeah. As you do, I put some feelers out to some of the lads. Is this any good? Then it's, well, not really. It's not really true. I was like, I don't give a fuck if it's true, like true to fact anymore. When I used to pick holes in every movie, but not anymore. I can't. Is it got a decent storyline? Is there good action? Yeah, cool. So I put it on, and my daughter was like, "Is that what happened when you were out there?" And I was like, "You do know I was in the RAF Reg, don't you?" So yeah, it did. I was like, "No, not quite." I was like, "No, it was a bit more peaceful when I was out especially in Iraq." But yeah, she's been asking a few questions, but I don't pull the wool over her eyes, and I never have, especially with mental health either. I think
No,
she needs to know that sometimes I might, as you said, might have a wobble.
yeah.
They need to
It's
know.
nice. It's good at
And
that age to realise
oh
what
yeah,
mental health's about. You know.
and both my two, they notice it as well, but they're not quite at the age where they fully understand. So I may be having a wobble, but it's one of the ones where I can sort of control it. So I'll sort of go
Yeah,
a bit more quiet. I'm not very good at hiding my emotions anyway. My face says it all.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they're like, "Are you okay, Dad? Are you okay, Dad? Are you okay, Dad?" And I'm like, "Yes. Can you just fucking shut up? Give me a fucking minute. I'm going to the shed."
Give me an hour. Be in the shed.
Yeah. What are you doing in the shed? Don't you worry. Having a man moment. But yeah, it's fucking madness. But one of the last things that I sort of want, it's still on the mental health thing, and it really got to me actually. I was watching your little video that you did for the veterans. Was it lottery? Veteran Foundation?
Veterans Lottery, yeah.
Mate, that it's quite a difficult watch. It does really like it. Yeah, it's proper gets you choked up. Not gonna lie.
That was my wife done one, Tanya done one as well. We both raised over £1 million for the
Fucking hell.
Veterans Lottery, and it's the biggest reaction they've ever had off a video they've done. So yeah, I'm glad I've done it, and I'm glad I've done what I've done and said what I said, and
Yeah.
Tanya's done a really good job as well. You know,
It's very commendable, mate. Genuinely, because you're type 1, Mark 1 male.
Mm.
You're a big dude, big beard. People don't expect to see it.
No, they don't. They don't.
And showing a vulnerable side really does make soldiers look more real, more human.
Exactly.
And it's spot on. It really did resonate. Like, I watched it and I was like, fucking hell.
And it makes civilians realise that there's not enough help there for veterans.
Definitely.
You know,
and you could hear the pain as well, and it's so authentic and real.
yeah.
And yeah,
No, I'm glad I've done it. I've got no regrets of doing it at all. So
no, it's amazing. And I think I'm trying to think of who else I had. Oh, forgotten her name now. Never mind. But she did a similar video, and it was yeah, that was a powerful watch as well. And I think I watched another one earlier. It was the lady that founded Scott's Little Soldiers, Scotty's Little Soldiers. Even that, because the reason why she set up that charity, because people forget about the kids.
Yeah.
And fucking yeah, I was watching that and I was like, I'm welling up at work here. I need to.
I know.
Fucking hell.
You go down a rabbit hole, can't you?
You fucking veterans making me cry.
Okay.
But I made a little mini doc about why I started the podcast and my sort of struggles and whatnot, and predominantly was very positive from people, feedback and whatnot. But I had a few that were mates, inverted commas, not anymore. Yeah, fucking horrendous. Some of the trolling that I had as well.
Oh, mate, I get it. You know, fucking idiots. They're just keyboard warriors, mate.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
They don't fucking know. I always say, walk in my shoes just for the day.
Yeah.
And see what pain I carry.
Have a go in his mind.
Exactly.
Treat yourself.
And see if you're strong enough not to commit suicide.
Yeah. But yeah, I've mentioned it on here. I did have a couple a bit later on in when the podcast started going a bit further. I did have a couple actually send me messages and like apologise and whatnot. I'm like, don't need to apologise, mate. I was as blinkered as you at one point.
Yeah.
I went, I'm not gonna lie. One of my buddies had depression, and he was on antidepressants, and I was like, what the fuck's he got to be depressed about?
Exactly, yeah.
And it wasn't until it fucking hit me like fucking a massive truck that I thought, oh fucking hell, yeah, everyone's fucking different.
Yeah. everyone copes in different ways.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, big man, I'm not going to take up any more of your time.
No, it's been a pleasure to have me on your me on your show, mate. So.
I'm on your
yeah, I know. I was going to correct that then. Yeah,
you got to get up early as well. So
yeah, I have. Yeah.
No, but genuinely, the pleasure's been all mine.
No, brilliant, mate.
Honor to have you on. Genuine.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. There's not many times I have a Guinness World Record holder on my show. No, but thanks very much, genuinely, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, do, mate. Well, it's a pleasure.
Let me know how the charity gets on, and maybe one day I'll be raising some money for you.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Look forward to it. You take care.
You take care, mate.
Cheers, mate.
All right, be careful.
Yeah, you too.